Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea here. So today we're going to be talking about my February monthly favorites, and I'm pretty excited because I really love these products. First, I'm going to start off with eyes, and I'm using the Luscious Angels Eyes Eyeshadow Primer Base. So I will say this, I'm not a huge eye primer person, but lately I've been getting into them because I think I have oily eyelids, and I'm noticing that I'm getting a lot of creasing with my eyeshadows, especially if I'm wearing them for like, 10 plus hours. So I'm experimenting with eyeshadow bases. So I'm not going to necessarily say this is a favorite, but this is the only eye primer that I've been using all month, and I do like it. So if you have any recommendations for really good eye primers that will cancel out redness, extend the long wear of your eyeshadows, and also decrease or eliminate eyeshadow creasing, please leave a comment down below. Okay, moving on to favorite eyeshadow palette. So I have two. I have the Huda Beauty Nude Palette, and then I also have the Natasha Denona Mini Nude Palette. Nude palettes. Didn't even realize that. So quick rundown of both of them because I still don't know what I'm using today. So we're just gonna talk about it, and then maybe I'll figure it out by the time I'm done. So the Mini Nude Palette by Natasha Denona is amazing quality. I love the color scheme because you've got two matte colors here and then three shimmer colors. And I love an eyeshadow palette that literally makes sense. Like, you look at it and you go, yep, popping this as a transition color, this will go into my crease, pop a lid color on, and I'm done. Like, this is such a good everyday, I just want a quick eyeshadow look, but I still want it to look beautiful, and I also want it to look like I put in more effort than I really did. This is how I feel about this eyeshadow. The Huda Beauty Nude Palette I fell in love with because I love this color scheme. And these pressed glitters, or these pressed shimmers right here, are so beautiful. And initially when this palette came out, I didn't want it because I was like, why do I need a palette that's just full of pink based eyeshadows? Because that's just how they look to me. And I also felt like there wasn't enough deeper shades to really make the looks that I created versatile, and I would beg to differ. I do think that there's enough versatility of the matte shades. They definitely could have added more, but then I get what the purpose of this is. This is supposed to be a new but this is supposed to be a new take on what we consider nude. So at the same time, when you're doing a nude palette, there's not going to be so much variation, but there's enough variation to where I think you could really get your money's worth. The formula of these shadows is excellent. Like, now I'm considering picking up another Huda palette. I'm considering the Desert Dust palette. So these two palettes were definitely a favorite. Now I have to choose which one I'm going to use on my eyes. Let's do the Natasha Denona palette, just because it's quick, it's easy, and I think I really like it a little bit more than Huda. So I'm just taking this matte shade here and I'm applying it all over the lid to set my primer, and then I'm also going to start building that up as my transition color. I'm going in with this matte brown shade and popping that into my crease, and I'm going to just concentrate on keeping the color right here on the outer edge of my eye. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Sienna, and I find that all of these shimmers, really just shimmers in general, they apply so beautifully when you use them with your finger. So I'm just going to dip my finger in the Sienna shade and pop this right over my lid. Also, I like using my finger because it helps to diminish the fallout, because your fingers can grip the shadows a little bit more. I also use my finger when I'm using the Huda Beauty Nude Palette on those shimmers, and I get much less fallout doing so. Done with the eyes. I just wanted to do a quick eye look, but as you can see, I feel like I have a really good eye look that didn't take a lot of effort. I used a total of 3 eyeshadows, but I love this look. So the primer that I've been loving has been the No Pore Blem, the Touch and Soul No Pore Blem primer. And you can see that I've already used a fair amount of this primer. It's very, very smoothing. It's a pore filling primer, so I do think it fills my pores. I don't think it's the most pore filling primer out there. So I say, or I suggest, if you really do have deep pores, you might want to use another pore filling primer, just because this may not give you, it may not fill your pores to your liking, but I more so like it because I think it really does smooth out my face. The other primer-like product, it's my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I'm just gonna pause right here because this, I don't, let me stop lying. I was about to say, I don't think I've ever loved another product so much as this. And that's a lie, because I have. But it has, I will say, it has been a long time since I have been this, like, committed to a product. So this is a base product. It's not really a primer. That's why I said primer-like. Because it's not going to extend the long wear of your makeup. It is literally an illuminator. It's a liquid illuminator that is just a touch of magic to your makeup. And I just think it gives such a natural glow. I love that product. I'm in the shade 6. It does provide the slightest bit of coverage. So if you saw before, I had some redness here and it kind of just took a little bit of the redness off. So it's got a slight bit of coverage, but it just gives me such a natural glow and I love it. Moving on to foundation, the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder Foundation is exactly what I have been looking for. So in my most recent video that I uploaded, I was doing a whole bunch of talking, so I cut out a lot of my talking. But I had been looking for a foundation that I could use that I could wear on days where I want foundation, but I really just want something skin-like. But it would give me like radiant skin, but not be oily and dewy. And this is it. So I have the shade Dark, and this foundation gives me a good light to medium coverage. So it's not going to go above medium coverage, which is what I want. But it gives me coverage without caking on my like making my face look caked up, or for days that I really don't want to put on a whole bunch of foundation, but I still want something to maybe cover up some redness a little bit. This is just it. This, like when I say I love this foundation, I had to put it down. I forced myself to put it down because I was using it too much. It's just perfection. I feel like Charlotte Tilbury is quickly taking over my makeup. Oh shoot, no! Why did I do that? I messed up some of my eyeshadow. I gotta go back and fix that. No worries, no worries. Charlotte Tilbury products, they are quickly taking over and becoming some of my favorite products, because we're about to see another Charlotte Tilbury product coming up very soon. But yes, I love this foundation. It gives very light coverage. The cons of this foundation, there's not an extensive shade range, but because the foundation is lighter, there's a little bit more flexibility with the shades. But of course, the shade range could be much better. And that's literally it. I have nothing negative to say about this foundation. Like, let me stop talking about it. Another favorite that I want to talk about are these sponges. So these sponges are by the brand AOA, and you can purchase them from the Shop Miss A website. Shop Miss A has become very popular because they sell products that are all $1 for the most part. So I bought 2 sponges. This is the Wonder Blender sponge, and both of these sponges, this one is dirty, but I bought the teardrop shape, and then I bought this shape. I don't know what it's called, but this shape here. They're $1. I got the Paw Paw edition for both of them. So these were $1.55. 55 cents is donated to an animal shelter. But they're also $1 too. It was just when I went on the website, the dollar ones were sold off. When I tell you soft, let me stop showing this dirty one. When I tell you soft, I mean so soft. I will never purchase another beauty blender because there's no need to, because these are excellent. So now moving on to concealer. So I have fallen back in love with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus concealer, and I have the shade Medium Tawny. It's very affordable. I think this is around $5, and it gives me good coverage. It does not dry out my under eye, and I like the color of this as well. Okay, another thing that I love to do with this Hollywood Flawless Filter is I love to apply it after I apply my foundation and concealer, just to give me some more luminosity. And I've got really, I feel natural radiance coming through. My base is perfection at this point, because these are all favorite products. Okay, moving on to under eye setting powder. Charlotte Tilbury, I told you all, she's like creeping in and she's like, I'm taking over all your makeup. So this is the Airbrush Flawless Finish powder. Yeah, loved it. I mean, what's more proof that you love a product than seeing the majority pan over product? I have the shade Medium. This is by far my favorite setting powder for my under eyes because, number one, it does not make my under eyes look dry. And number two, it really does give this perfected, flawless look to the under eye area. There are 3 shades for this powder, but I definitely will be repurchasing this, no questions asked, when I run out. Thank you, Charlotte. All right, moving on to my other setting powder that I've quickly fallen in love with. This is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Loose Setting Powder, and I have the shade Honey. So I like to use this powder to set the rest of my face. So I really love this powder. It's mattifying, but I like that it is not overly matte. When I say overly matte, when I apply it to my skin, I don't feel like my face just feels dry and just parched. It is very loose, so I'm sure you can see all of this powder like flying everywhere. I'm avoiding the area that I put the Flawless Filter because I want to leave that nice and dewy. But I pretty much just keep it right here on the perimeter of my face where I'm going to apply bronzer, so my bronzer won't skip. And also so that area in terms of foundation wise will last longer. So I highly recommend the Fenty Beauty Flawless Filter powder for sure. The bronzer that I used the most between, I would say, December, January, and part of February was the bronzer that I have in this Morphe 8H Highlight and Contour palette. So I love this palette because there's such versatility in this palette. There's 4 bronzer shades, 4 highlighter shades. So my favorite bronzer, like I said, for pretty much December and January and part of February was this debutante shade here. So I'm going to use that today. Powders blend very easily in the face. There's different undertones for the powders as well. So I like this one because I feel like it's more like a bronzer contour. I can contour a bit with it, but I can also bronze up the face. And the whole palette was, I think, $20 or $25, one of the two. In terms of blush, I have a blush palette and then I have an honorable mentions. So the blush palette that I used for the majority of, I think, January and February is this one by Morphe. This is the 8W blush palette, so it's the 8 Warm palette. And these colors are beautiful. They blend very well into the skin and they're very pigmented. They last throughout the day, which I really love because if you know anything about makeup, blush tends to wear off first. But these, I feel, last all day, and I've used every color except for this one. But all of these colors I love. My honorable mentions that I'm going to use today, the Natasha and Denona Bloom palette. I call it an honorable mentions because I literally just got this palette last Thursday. But I know my makeup, I know what I like, and I love this palette. It's just, I don't know if I should make a whole video on it. If you all want me to make a whole video on it, let me know. But Natasha hit it out of the park with this one. So there's 2 cream shades, 2 powder shades. This is a more powder highlight, and this is more of a, I guess, a blush topper. So I'm going to go in with the shade, this berry shade here. And I'm just going to pop this right here. And then I'm going to use the cream shade, and I will use that on the apples of my cheeks. Then I'm going to use this shade right here to set the cream blush on the apples of my cheeks, but also to add this beautiful glow that you see right there. I know you see it. And for highlight, I'm going to use this shade right here in the palette. I like this little flap that you can use to cover up your cream blushes so it doesn't get into your powder, or your powder products don't get into the cream. So I'm going to use this one. This is what she calls her Glow Extreme. That will be my highlight for today. So I will pop that over the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. And yeah, we're glowing. I'm going to use a recent favorite find. This is the Hard Candy Glow Sheer Envy Illuminating Setting Spray. This setting spray is so good. It gives your face a glow, but it does not cause your skin to be oily, which is huge for me because, once again, I have oily skin in my T-zone, and I find that a lot of illuminating sprays are too illuminating. So within a matter of a couple hours, I feel like my face is greasy, and I just don't ever use them. But my girl on Instagram, Miss Glam Erica, has been raving about this, and so I picked it up. And honestly, I did pick this up last week, so I guess this could be another honorable mentions because I haven't been using it the whole month of February. But I really, really like this product. Picking it up, and then I'm just going to apply a couple of spritz on my face. And it's also a setting spray, so it really does set your makeup. But I love the glow that it gives, and it's only $6. You can find it at Walmart. You should get that. So I'm going to go in and finish off my eyes with the, well, finish off my lower lash line with the Natasha Denona palette, and then come right back. To finish off my eyes, I'm going to apply some eyeliner. So I've got 2 favorite eyeliners here. I have the Eye Hole eyeliner from MAC in the shade Teddy, and then I have the Pat McGrath Labs eyeliner in Black Coffee. So I love brown eyeliners for everyday use. I will usually only wear black eyeliner if I'm going for a very dramatic look. So if I want to use a matte brown eyeliner, I'm using my Pat McGrath one. And today I'm going to use the one in Teddy because it's got a matte formula, but it's got this hint of like shimmerish to it that you really can't see from a distance, but you can see it more if I were to swatch it, which I'll go ahead and swatch it. And you're not going to be able to see that. But it's got more of a bronze look to it versus a traditional brown color. So now my favorite mascara from December to now has been the It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. And it's, I mean, it makes my lashes so, I feel like it makes my lashes so long and so voluminous. Now, here I go. Or maybe you should know this about me. I do not believe in spending a whole bunch of money on mascara. This mascara is $22, which I think is too much money for mascara. But yeah, I would say this. I would repurchase this mascara again at full price, as much as it would make me want to cry to do that. But I would. It is that good. Okay, so moving on to brows. So I hate doing my brows. I don't like doing them. So I have 2 favorites that I will use depending on how I feel like doing my brows. The CoverGirl Ultra Fine Soft Brow Pencil in Soft Brown. Amazing. Like, never purchasing another high-end. Okay, let me not say never. Like I said, the Beauty Blender. Well, actually, I know I'm not paying $20 for the Beauty Blender anymore. Probably won't be purchasing a high-end foundation, eyebrow pencil for a very long time. I'll say that because, you know, you never know. But this is so good. So I use this pretty much every day, but days where I really don't feel like doing my brows or I don't have a lot of time to do my brows, I'll go in with the Essence Make Me Brow, and this is in the shade 02 Brownie Brows. So I don't really, let me just not do that. I don't really feel like doing my brows, so I was just going to use that and just put a little product in and call it a day. But let me stop being lazy. Oh my, I thought I ran out. I was about to be like, oh no, I didn't. But the pencil is very thin. The product is not overly waxy. It's also not overly stiff either. So I feel like it glides in my brows very easily, and I can fill my brows in quickly, which I love because I don't like doing them. And I love the color as well. So I prefer my brows to look more cool toned over being extremely warm and dark. And so I love this color as well. For lips, I'm using the Almay Lip Vibes in Be Strong. So I recently found this product and I really, really like it. I want to get more shades in this. This is the cream formula, so it's very soft. I like the pigmentation of it and it feels really good on the lips. But my most favorite product in terms of lip products over the past month has been rediscovering these NYX Butter Glosses. So I'm using this shade Tiramisu, and I really forgot how great they were. I have just realized I did not turn on my ring light. Y'all, I feel like this video has just been an ultimate fail. Let me turn on my ring light for y'all. We'll just get extra lighting the last 2 minutes of the video. So anywho, going back to this. I love this gloss. These butter glosses are so moisturizing. They make my lips feel very soft, and even when they're dry and sometimes they crack, I love that these glosses really get into those cracks and like smooths out my lips, so I don't feel like I'm applying on a gloss but then my lips are still cracky and, you know, oof. So I love these glosses. One more product that I want to mention and then I'm done. This Morphe Continuous Setting Mist Spray is excellent. I love this setting spray for 2 reasons. Number one, I love how it really allows my powders to just blend and fuse into my skin and also blend together. 2, this setting powder or this setting spray also does give you a little bit of dewiness as well with not causing your skin to look oily. So these 2 products essentially almost do the same thing in my opinion. I've got to use this one obviously more to really compare the 2, but I do feel like they do similar things. Sets the face really well and also leaves you with a nice glow. So I'm not going to apply this today just because I used the hard candy one. But that's it. These were all my February favorites. Even my honorable mention ones, I know that they are going to be favorites for the year. You'll probably see them in other favorite videos. But yeah, I really hope that you like this video. Definitely leave me a comment down below letting me know what your favorites are, because I'm always looking for more makeup. Always. And I'd love to try your favorites to see if they will become my favorites. So once again, thank you for watching this video. Definitely give me a like, a thumbs up if you like this video, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys.